If you'd like to see how I attempted to transform this into something cute, but it ended up being this right here, one of the most hideous, tackiest DIYs I've ever done, keep watching this video. Hey YouTube, so today in this video, I want to try something a little different. So first of all, this is some wine. This was an empty wine bottle someone gave to me probably a couple years ago. My sister-in-law gave me a few empty bottles. I've never done an empty bottle before. I always make sure like it's just a new bottle that has nothing in it. But I said, why not practice or do something with the empty bottles? So look, I put some mica powder and some water in here just so it'll have some weight. So when I give this to whoever I give it to, it won't just knock over so easily. So that's that. So I have all this luxury designer inspired fabric. I have this Fendi fabric, right? So I've been wanting to do some other DIYs to show how you can do other creative little things with fabric. I kept having an idea in my mind to put some fabric on a bottle. But at the same time, I kept having an idea to put some yarn on a bottle. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I used a few colors because as you can see, this Fendi has multiple colors in it. It's very busy, so this is gonna be busy. We're gonna do like a little furry wine bottle, and we're gonna use some hot glue, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, I have my really good sharp scissors. I could soak this off and scrape this off, but I decided not to. I'm just gonna cover that up anyway. So I just want to make sure it's enough fabric to cover that up. My only issue, this does not go all the way around. But I'm not going to worry about that because it's going to be towards the back and the back's not going to be showing. Because if I turn the fabric this way, of course it goes all the way around. But then the Fendi will be sideways and that's not what I want to do. So I'm just going to start off by, I'm going to cut the fabric, I'm going to say about right there. So I'm just gonna cut it across. That's first things first. So this looks different already. I haven't glued it on. I'm just kind of holding it down, just looking at it. And I could have had it shorter and use less fabric. So that's an option for you if you do want to go ahead and scrape the label and everything off. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start to glue this bad boy on. And I like how this is white and then the background of this fabric is white. It kind of reminds me of like a big bottle of soda or something. So let's just go ahead and start the gluing. And I want to try my best to eyeball it, make sure it's nice and smooth, and make sure that there are no wrinkles in it. I'm going to use hot glue, but if you want, you can use E6000 or whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, so I started out by adding some hot glue to the edge of this fabric, and I'm just going to make sure that I cover up this label. And also be careful so you don't burn yourself. This gets very hot. And what I'm going to do, you'll see me just keep lifting it up and just keep adding a line of glue as I go along. Just so there's not too much air and space in between the bottle and the actual fabric. So it can be as smooth as possible. Now I had a kind of a wide piece of fabric here. I probably could have shortened it and made it more the size of the actual label. I probably should have just left it where it is now with just the fabric on the bottle, just like this. This DIY definitely takes a turn. I already didn't know exactly which way I was going, but it looks like this is probably the best that this bottle looks. From here, it just pretty much goes downhill. And also, if you don't want to use hot glue or don't have hot glue, I'm sure you can use E6000 or a nice strong adhesive, and it should also hold as well. Move on to the next step, and I already pre-cut some yarn. So I'm kind of nervous about this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. This may be a little time consuming. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just gonna start at the bottom. Okay, so here's where I got the bright idea to go ahead and add this fabric, this yarn. I think that it got bad when I put the first piece of yarn on here. I was like, I don't know about this, but I just was like, let me just keep going. So I think what it is, I didn't realize, or I guess I forgot, that the yarns were different sizes. Some were just too skinny, some were extremely thick, some were in between. And I wanted all these colors on here. But you know how sometimes something looks pretty terrible or kind of terrible, and you're like, oh, let me just trust the process. This is one of those situations. So I'm like, okay, let me just keep going. I done got started. Let me keep going. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to continue to add on the yarn to this bottle because I want to have this unique DIY that just looks so different. It definitely looked much better in my mind. And then this was just super thin, and I was just kind of clipping it in the back so it can just all look pretty seamless. Okay, so by the time I got here, I had some space right there. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I found some of this little bling trim. I thought that would like help it, spruce it up a little bit. So I went ahead and put that on. So that's some rhinestone adhesive sheets. You can get it on Amazon and just kind of cut it however you want. It's already very sticky, but I added some additional glue just to make sure it was more secure. So I was like, oh, okay. It has a little bling on it. Then I had this open part in the back. Instead of using another little small slither of fabric, I decided to put this thicker piece of black yarn there. Then I was like, okay, let me add some more bling. And it just still didn't help the situation at all. Maybe a pinch, but not much. This fabric is available at myroyalradiance.com. So I'm at the top of the bottle and I'm just adding this pink here. I'm just going to continue the process and hope that it gets better. But it didn't. It got worse. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying something different. And it just went completely wrong. It went all wrong. And it continued to get worse. But I was like, I'm almost done with this bottle. I'm this far at the top. Why should I stop now? Let me just keep on. And then these colors together. I just figured, okay, maybe once it's finished, I could just step back and look at it and it may look kind of okay. That just didn't happen. I kept going and going and going because I wanted to finish it. Like, okay, I came this far, so. And it's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. It's a good thing this is a bottle just filled with water and it's not real wine in it. I don't know who would want this. I think it's probably I'm sure it's one of the tackiest DIYs I've ever done. Then I decided that I was going to add some more bling to the top to finish it off. And it never, like I said, I should have just stopped at the fabric. I think I'll try this again. But what I'll do is I'll use a much thinner strip of fabric and I'll add glitter to the rest of the bottle. I think that would be better. So I'll show you the end result. Okay, you guys, here is the final finished result of this DIY. It looks absolutely tacky. I don't like it at all. I just decided to still just go ahead and post this anyway. I had asked my 9-year-old daughter, I was like, what do you think about this? And she just looked at it and then looked at me and then we looked at each other and we just had a laugh. We had a laugh. I'm trying to figure out if all the yarn was the same size, would it have been better? Would it have been better if I had like the boa feathers? I think it's called the feathers. Would that have made it better? I'm trying to figure out what would have made this work. What could have made this work? It's hard to say. I think maybe if I just had maybe not the fabric on and just the yarn only. Okay, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, I've done glitter bottles, I've done rhinestone bottles. The fabric maybe alone could have just been okay. Why I added the yarn? I don't know. I had all this yarn because I did a pair of the croc slide yarn, and I had all this yarn left over, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, let's put some on a wine bottle. And then this happened. So I'm wondering if I just did it with the yarn only, would that have been better? I don't know, you guys. Like, what do you think I could have did better? I don't think nothing could save this, but I definitely want to try the designer fabric again. Thanks you guys for watching this video. Check out my other videos. My other DIYs, if you're new here, are not tacky. So check out some of my better DIYs. And thanks. Maybe you had a good laugh here. Bye-bye. Our website, myroyalradiance.com, and we do carry faux leather inspired designer fabric for your crafting needs, luxury inspired croc charms, as well as iron-on patches and much more. Enjoy the coupon code MyRoyalBeauty10 off. Check out our website, crtacticaldefense.com, where we do sell in-waistband gun holsters, belly band holsters, and many more. Please check out my discount code VIBES for a special discount for my subscribers. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Life is a Whole Vibe. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.